Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Echo Night, Nebula. Last time we discovered the personal tragedies of a marriage on the brink of disintegration and of a facility on the brink of disintegration, with people doing sabotage, planning mutinies, and planning murder of all of the cardinal sins. It is a priest who was in on that plan. So things have gotten fairly serious here on the moon facility, at least in memory. So we have a few things to do today, and one of those things is we are going to be pretending we're Prometheus. And returning some energy over to some places that need it. So let's head over back to the Nexus and get started. I always say it, but we do have a lot of things to do today as we enter into the final stretch of this game. There's still quite a few ghosts now that are waiting for little triggers that are still coming up. As a result, we can probably move around this place a little bit easier. The fog has receded to very simple locations. Control room. We need to head down to the captain of the shuttle. So this is one of the places we need to be using the vehicle battery. It's the only big battery in this whole facility. And we need to bring it a few different places, but first we bring it here.
This is the battery. Now I can finish my work. Did you see Victor? Why do you bring this? Well, thanks. This came from Victor, right? I knew I could count on Victor. I knew he could get in the battery. Nice work, Victor.
So he's the captain of the shuttle that we were crashed on. And with that done, we're able to head back to the shuttle and explore places that were blocked off from us. But we do have one more loose end to tie up before we do that. And that means heading back to the work area. Just in case you wanted to see how dark it gets. The battery mechanic in this game really reminds me of what they wanted to do with Dark Souls 2. And how dark Dark Souls 2 was originally supposed to be. In any case, we need to head back to the work area. Generally where we came from, and hopefully our work down below has translated to that bridge. If you recall, the bridge where we had to run away from a PK while having nothing to prevent us from being scared to death. There's no more fog here. So I noticed him when I was editing video. I seriously, I'm not even playing a bit. I didn't even see him. Didn't even notice him when I was playing, but I noticed him when I was editing video. Apparently he moves around. So, good news. Our work downstairs has cleared the fog from up here. And now we're able to head over to that door that is blocked off. So now we have a new door.
How long have I been here? Oh, yeah. Communications from headquarters was cut off. We're all abandoned. The food is gone. Everybody left me. They left me here, all by myself. I was so lonely. Thanks for finding me.
And this is actually our first body that we've seen in the facility. Mummified corpse of a man. He's been dead a long time. Grab this battery over here. The machine is very old. And he is the ghost who scared us at the beginning, going back and forth and asking, where is everyone? So now that we've brought him some solace, we can continue on. We can head back to the ship from the beginning angle. And there is something we can do this way now that all of the fog is cleared up. Let's head back. The ship is actually, I don't know, a little bit weird to navigate. And so this is all there is something I missed. So we're gonna head back down the elevator. And yes, we need to bring power back to this area. So we need to head this way. Ah, yes, here we are. This will give us enough power to look in the locked rooms. Thinking back onto the marriage that I alluded to earlier in the intro, her husband was locked in the passenger rooms here on the ship. So now that we've restored power to the generator, maybe we can find what happened to her husband. And the ship compartments are quite nice. And it looks like we might have found the husband. The body of a man. It looks as though it has been here for quite a while. Passenger's letter. Norman Spinell is the name signed at the bottom. Let me shut that off for a moment. And let's read the letter. Nancy, after 20 years of marriage, I wonder if I ever made you happy. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that I have. Work has occupied so much of my time throughout the years that I know we've lost touch with each other. I can only imagine how much you've had to endure while married to someone like me. My only hope is that you can find it in your heart to forgive me. Please know that I am truly sorry and want to spend more time with you. I'm sorry I was not able to tell you this in person. Norman Spinell. He wanted this moon trip to be their salvation, and it ended up being their doom. There's no more here, so let's take off back to the elevator and out. We are delivering Norman's last will, last words, to a wife who was much ignored. Now that all of this is done with the optional stuff, we are able to head to a new area. The area afforded to us by the level 3 security key we came across last episode. And this will actually get to the spaceport. Now, note, this is not the spaceport. The shuttle that carried our person crashed into the work area. Very spooky, very spooky. With new areas comes new challenges. Yes, it's this way.
Access granted. Releasing lock.
There are 4 batteries. We'll grab maybe 1? Yes. And then we'll head to the cruise room. Take a look around. Notices are posted on the board. A linear transport. It looks like the spaceport is a little bit set apart from the rest of the facility. And so the spaceport is kind of its own connected bit. Seeing here, we can see what the map is like from the spaceport to Central Hall, and that there is a ghost there who's just waiting for somebody to come and start the monorail.
Start the linear transport.
So we'll do that and bring them across. So now we can probably head over to the spaceport proper.
Who are you? I thought I'd never see a survivor. Do not worry. I am one of the members of the Space Exploration Commission. We stopped here to refuel our shuttle. Do you want to use a linear? This is the remote device from the crew room. I can operate this. May I ask you for a favor? I dropped the pendant with a locket at the space harbor just now. I looked all over for it, but could not find it. If you see it, can you bring it to me? Thank you.
This section of the game isn't that long, but it's long enough. Quite well appointed.
You are heading towards the harbor. I will activate the linear.
Now departing. Please remain seated.
Richard doesn't obey your rules.
Now arriving at the spaceport.
So now we're here at the spaceport. We have a worker's passage and a monitor room. And the ventilation system is already on here. So let's take a look at all the cameras and see what we're dealing with it.
Where did he put the food? There's no food anywhere. Kevin, Nora, all gone. What the director says is true? The red stone? Does it really grant wishes? With a sufficient sacrifice.
They don't really say that in the fine print of the red stone. Usually the sufficient sacrifice is not mandatorial. It's usually a soul. Yeah, fine print being as it is. So this should be pretty much where we are. Although it does show where we are up there and it's not the same place. So that should be where we came from, yes. Here is the ghost working the controls now for us. She is looking for a pendant. She's part of the mission from all of the Russian guys. The guys who are in the opening movie are these Russian guys who are here looking to get more fuel and got caught up in all of this mess. Basically, the opening movie shows them dying. In any case, on that cheerful note, let's take a look over here. And we're finding nothing. And here we have quite a lot of fog. A ghost all the way up there. Here is our ghost, an older lady, obviously searching for something. So the direct passage is definitely blocked, and we definitely did not see a ventilation. So let's look around over here. It's also covered in fog. So that's the entry door.
This isn't mine. My sister made me take it. When I work, I put this here and listen to it during breaks. It calms me down.
Sorry I didn't ask you before touching it.
My sister insists that I bring it back. It means a lot to her.
She is worried.
Well, if she's so worried, she should just say so. Guess it's all right. She is my sister, even if she is a bit twisted. She's the same age as you know.
In space, no one can hear you matchmake. Okay, so the first thing is we have a keypad we need to swipe right here. And we have our very good friend, the priest. He doesn't seem to be bothered by cameras anymore, though. And back here is another one of those devices. So there's actually two, and you have to hit them both. Let's take a look at the lobby before we save and try to hit these two things fairly quickly.
Oh! Little Ruthie! Ruthie, where are you going?
That's the cat we saw very early in the game. And it seems as though the older lady is looking for her Ruthie. So now we have a confrontation with the priest, and I can't mess with him with the camera, so this is just going to be a couple of YOLOs. So let's save. And let's make a break for it. So we can't go straight across because of the lady, and the ventilations are this way. Alright, so let's cool off. This is pretty much as much of the boss fight as you'll come across in Echo Knight Beyond, and that is the priest. So we're through phase 1. Phase 2 is getting the second ventilation. If you aren't meticulous about looking at your cameras and finding both of them, that second one is going to be a huge surprise. Come on.
ID verified. Ventilation system activated.
That was giving me some trouble with recognizing I was in front of it, so. The priest is gone, per usual. But there is somebody here banging on something, and so we'll meet them. And he is pointing at something? And he definitely wants something that we would have to put in right there. Let's explore this place now that it is without. And there's nothing here, so we'll grab this here battery. And there's another battery here. So we'll grab that one too. So since the music box isn't there, I don't think he wants anything else but it. So we'll just keep going and maybe we'll come across it. Okay, so we have a music box somewhere around here. It is playing our favorite song. At least it's YouTube's favorite song. We'll grab this and then we'll move away down over here so that I can read this without having to worry about copyright infractions. Okay, let's read this. 2/12/2044. It's been 5 years since he passed away, yet people are still after the inheritance. Just today, a young man stopped by claiming to be a distant relative. He was so persistent that I finally had to call the authorities. Ruthie is my only family now. Tomorrow we leave on our space trip. I know they hope something will happen to me. February 17th, 2044. The shuttle crash has left us stranded on the moon. I'm convinced it was the greedy people after my inheritance who schemed up this nefarious little accident. They must have hoped to collect the insurance money. The other passengers seem nice enough, but I can't trust anyone. Ruthie and I must find somewhere safe to take refuge. February 20th, 2044. Ruthie and I made it to the spaceport lobby. We should be safe here. She is such a dear, and I'm glad she finally calmed down. The music box I discovered on the way here plays a song that was my late husband's favorite. Moonlight Sonata, really? Just listening to it has helped me relax. So we have a very rich woman who, through probably no fault of her own, has basically been screwed by money. She can only trust her cat. Her cat is missing. And we've seen it here and there. So let's meet her. I don't know how keen she is to seeing us. Definitely not keen on seeing us, as there is fog in the area. Thankfully, she didn't turn around. So we sent her across the people mover, and now we can use the ventilation.
ID verified. Ventilation system activated.
So now let's talk to her. Huh.
Could you please help me find Lucy? Find her quickly, all right? My little Lucy, cutie pie. She follows me whenever I ring her bell. This wicked bag, it's too sturdy. My little Lucy won't come out if I don't ring the bell.
Okay. Thankfully, we might still have something for her. Very cute bell. So now we have the bell. And now we have the method of which we can grab Ruthie. Okay. So now we've done a big loop around. We can save it now that we've opened up the area. No. Okay. Let's go find a cat. We can take a look outside and we can see the full facility. And let's head into Welcome to the Svetlana. We definitely heard a cat. Alright, so that's sort of the cabin. That should be where we came from. And this is the cockpit to the Svetlana. I know enough from reading a lot of like Master and Margarita that says monitor. So let's look at the monitor system, which is exactly what that says. And let's take a look around. Camera 3 shows a battery for our spacesuit, which is always welcome, except when we're full. Camera 2 shows our little rapscallion of a cat, Ruthie, on the table. And in the decompression room, we can take a look around, but since we just came through here, there's not much to see. So let's take a quick jaunt around the Svetlana. Our little cat has moved that way. But we can grab this here logbook. We'll read that as soon as ambient noise doesn't exist anymore. We have a few battery. And now we can use the bell. We have a very well-behaved cat. Past the treadmill and head out. And so, we have a quiet reunion between the only family that they have. The cat knows where her mom is and has revealed to us the location of the music box that was driving YouTube up the wall. So let us grab the music box. And let us go check in on Ruthie and her mom. It makes us wait for the cat to move in first. No ma'am. No ma'am, she had first class service.
She is my only family left. Well, I'm sorry. Are you hungry? Let's go over there and eat.
Ma'am, there's no food here anymore.
You're the only one I have left. We will stay together forever. All right, little Ruthie.
And now there is a small pendant. A picture of a kind man is inside the locket. And if we take a look at it, Um, nothing happens. It doesn't even zoom in, but you could probably surmise who that is. That's as much as I can zoom in on that. And let's read the logbook that we picked up, now that we aren't competing with white noise. June 8th, 2044, and in the correct format for Europeans. Christina Pegma. We leave to explore Sector 5 today. The crew list is as follows. Sergei Deshklotio. Please excuse me if I screw up these names. Nikolai Ivanov. Christina Pegma. Dmitry Exun. Natalia Ryskaya. Igor Hignan. Igor says, so far everything is going according to schedule. Our present course is clear of debris, so the crew took time off to complete in a 10K run on the treadmill. Wow, 10K? Dosklosio bested the rest of the crew and came in first. We'll continue training until our scheduled stop in Sector 3 tomorrow. Dmitri says, exploration of Sector 3 is complete, nothing special to report. Natalia says, we're running dangerously low on fuel. This is all my fault. If only I had checked the gauges more thoroughly. We're trying to come up with some solution now. Nikolai tells us, we've located a building on the moon's surface. According to our records, it is a corporate outpost, but it appears to have been deserted. We may have been able to obtain fuel for the shuttle here. The decision to search for the building was reached after discussing it with the commander. Tomorrow, we go inside. Which leads us to the opening movie for Echo Night, which depicts this ill-fated foray into the facility for fuel. But now that we have the music box, we can do one more thing before we head out. And that is return this music box to this guy banging on the wall. Hi. So he takes his music box and he's taken off. It's kind of a funny effect because the music box is not ghostly and it just kind of looks like it's floating. But we know it's being held by a guy. Let's head out. And now we can leave the spaceport.
If you are heading towards the harbor, I will activate the mirror.
Now departing. Please remain seated.
Richard doesn't care about your rules. He's not going to seat himself anywhere.
Now arriving at the central hall.
Did you find the pendant? Thank you. My mother gave me this when I left home. She said to put a picture of my loved one in it. Good.
And since she is part of that entire group and that we know that now from the log, we can show her the host radio.
This is our host radio. No! Why did Nikolai... The commander trusted Nikolai most of all. I wonder if everyone is okay. If we could only fix the radio. I know Christina could fix it. You've been searching this facility? If you see anyone, please show this to them. Our commander gave this to us before as a proof of trust. If you show this, they will trust you. I know Christina can fix the host radio. Excuse me, did you see our commander somewhere? Monsters attacked us in the facility, so we all scattered. I came this far with the commander, but he returned to the facility to find others. He said to wait here. I wanted to go with him.
And so now our quest is to gather the entire crew back together and to send them back on their way. We'll grab another one of these batteries and rememberize that there are 2 more here if we decide to show back down here. So now Nikolai's already gone. He's not going to wait for the commander at all. Nikolai's already peaced out. So now let's head back into the work area because we know most of them are in the work area. They were looking for fuel. We've already met them. So now we should go talk to all of them. I bet you were wondering when that host radio would show back up in this game. Take a moment to save. And next time on Echo Night, we'll be moving through the place to find the rest of the crew of the Svetlana and get them on their way. Most of the people in the facility are gone by now. And there are still a few stragglers out in the lunar surface itself, and we still have to find the priest. But right now, the easiest group of ghosts to get is the Svetlana. So we'll be looking for them next time on Echo Night Beyond. I'll see you then.